Who are you, Gabriel?
Greetings, sir. This may concern. Christian Aguilar here, back with another movie review. And in today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing James Wan's recent horror film, Malignant. Malignant stars Annabelle Wallis, Madison Hayson, George Young, Nicole Brino White, and McKenna Grace as a young Madison Mitchell, which is Annabelle Wallis' character in the movie. Now, the movie follows the character of Madison as she is not only dealing with her very abusive boyfriend and the very hostile environment that he creates for her home life, she's also plagued with these crazy, shocking visions / nightmares of murders happening to people that she distantly has connections to. To her horror, she wakes up and finds out that the murders that she was dreaming were actually true. And what is the crazy entity that's behind all this? Spoilers, it's her fucking twin. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna say right now, I was pretty hyped. I was pretty hyped for Malignant because I love James Wan. I think he is one of the better modern horror directors out there. Back when I saw the very first Insidious movie, that shit scared the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie, man. I know a lot of people tend to compare the red-faced demon to Darth Maul. Not to me, man. Darth Maul did not come to mind at all in that movie because I just found myself engaged and lost in this world. And when the horrors kicked in, I was scared just as much as the characters themselves. I was haunted by the creepy visuals that James Wan was able to produce on the screen, and my lord, it stuck with me. The only other film that's ever done that for me was the original Exorcist. And granted, I do come from a Catholic household and upbringing, however, that movie alone was pretty damn scary. I mean, talk about visually scary. I mean, look at this face. I'm sorry to bring it up to you if you're watching this and you're frightened easily or whatever. But I mean, this face, if you're seeing this as like a 7, 6, 5 to 7-year-old kid, I'm pretty sure it's going to be sticking with you in your subconscious for some time. I'm pretty sure. And when I saw the first Insidious, I was like, wow, it was able to get under my skin just like when I was younger with the original Exorcist. And then, of course, The Conjuring came along. And then when The Conjuring came along and the first one played, I mean, I thought that was really creepy itself. I mean, that whole atmosphere that Wan was able to display in the movie was just haunting, man. Like, that felt like a haunted house 100%. And of course, that movie had its fair share of creepy imagery as well. And that got me on edge a little bit after I went home and saw that from the theaters for the first time. I was like, whoa, man, he did it again. He's a great horror director, and I can't wait to see what more comes out of him. And of course, he started up Saw. That whole Saw franchise, man. The first Saw is the best Saw. And that timeless classic twist that, spoilers, I mean, some time out, go watch Saw. That's a way better movie than Malignant. I'll tell you that right now. Go watch the first Saw movie, because that twist at the end, timeless. Just timeless. If you don't know what it is, go and watch it. And you really don't have to continue on after that. I mean, if you want to, you can, but I wouldn't. So when it came time to sit down and watch Malignant, I was excited, man, because I loved that he went away for a little bit. He went away and he did Fast and Furious 7, and then he did Aquaman. So he had his toes in the action pool for some time right now. And so to see him come back to horror, I felt like it was going to be a warm welcome. However, for me, it did not stick the landing whatsoever. I mean, there was nothing haunting about this movie at all. Like, there was no creepy imagery compared to Insidious and The Conjuring, and even the first Saw movie with Jigsaw turning his head in that green little box that is a TV. That was some creepy stuff too, you know? So to sit down with Malignant and to not really be scared or feel on edge when watching this movie was real upsetting. It felt way more like an action horror comic book movie, like a horror comic book. I felt like this story that they were telling with this movie, the whole story about like there's you got like a little fraternal twin, or like not a fraternal twin, but like you got like a twin attached to your body, right? It's jointed to you, right? And what happens if you survive and you fully develop, but the twin's still stuck to you, right? So in Madison's case, the main character in this movie, it was stuck to the back of her head, which is freaking insane, and it was just like really, really wacky and crazy imagery that I can totally see in panels on a comic book page. I'll give the film this. It had some interesting imagery for sure. And Annabelle Wallis, her performance is really, really great. Despite the lackluster screenplay and everyone else around her, I mean, everyone just felt weak compared to her performance. Like, she is a great scream queen, per se. And I would love to see her in more starring roles if she hasn't already. I also really enjoyed her in the first Annabelle movie. I thought she was pretty great in the first Annabelle movie. I think she does really well with heavy roles like this, with you got to get into like some dark places and some tormented places, and she can get there, and she portrays it very, very well, very genuinely. And yeah, I mean, her performance was definitely a highlight in this movie. There was a lot of campy jokes that didn't land well. This movie felt like it had more jokes than scares, which is pretty bad. Of course, you had your typical cheap jump scares that every single horror movie has. Like, I hate that horror movies have that. Like, just, can you get rid of the cheap jump scares and just try to create an atmosphere? Try to create a world for us to get lost in. And then you bleed in the scares, you know? We get scared with the characters, alright? So don't try to, like, throw in cheap jump scares with people shutting fridges or like turning back and being like, oh, I forgot something, you know, something stupid like that. It's in my book, it's tiring. And I just felt like the ending was just you know, like nothing was memorable for me in this movie. I guess if I like the effects of the creature Gabriel, I guess that was his name, controlling her body at the end. That was some pretty cool effects, but again, that would be cool in a comic book panel. I see that in a comic book. And I just couldn't get behind this movie because it wasn't as creepy and as haunting as I wish it would be. I mean, it advertised itself as James Wan returning to his horror roots, and we're going to get this next horror classic. And yeah, no, I don't get those haunting, creepy vibes that I was left with both Insidious and Conjuring. And it's quite upsetting for me to rank this a solid 2 out of 5 Skarsgårds. Yes, it deserves 2 stars because Annabelle Wallis's performance, top-notch. She's great. And interesting original imagery. I'll give the film that. Like, James Wan has came up with some interesting stuff, but does it play well on film? I don't know. Let me know down below. What did you think of the film? Have you seen it? Have you not? Let me know down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to support this little side hobby I am doing. Thank you so much for reaching to the end of this video. I hope you're all safe and well out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.